I hope you're all having a very nice weekend. So, for tonight's episode, as part of the Brutalist buildings around the world, we're going to move south from Canada now, and we find ourselves in Mexico for this evening. So, we'll be going through the Atlas of Brutalist architecture and just picking out a few of the interesting buildings from Mexico. But just to begin with, I have a nice candle to light. It's a gingerbread candle, so we'll just get that lit now. And also, I thought I'd, as part of relaxing after a busy week, I like to enjoy a nice cold beer from the fridge. And so tonight's beer that I've got is called 50/50 from Buxton Brewery, and it's an India Pale Ale. So we'll just open that now and pour it into my glass. I probably shouldn't be doing this over the fancy book, but we're okay. Very nice. So we'll just pop that to the side. Let's begin. So, Mexico is the first part of this book's Central America section, which has Mexico, Guatemala, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Costa Rica. So as you can see, there's already some very interesting and different buildings on the front page, namely the Roberto Garza Sada Centre for Art, but also Praxis Home, which is very unique. So what I'll do is just read a little bit from the description and just gently trace the building as well while reading. So to begin with, the Roberto Garza Sada Centre for Art was designed by architect Tadeo Ando and is located in Monterrey in Mexico, and is built in 2012. It's still in use today, so it's quite a new one, 2012. One of the newest ones on this list so far. But it's part of the University of Monterrey in Mexico. It is named after Roberto Garza Sada, who was an engineer, philanthropist and businessman, whose legacy and business work has allowed the school to be established. It selects the top 300 most talented students for each year's entry, so it's a very exclusive school. This was Tadeo Ando's first design in Latin America, and the actual centre, the art centre, is surrounded by mountains all around it, southwest of the city of Monterey. So the building itself provides amazing views out of these windows of the local landscape. And Ando designed it in that way, meaning for it to be almost like a viewing point for all the beautiful nature around it, but also to act as a place where students can come together to learn and create. Within the design, there is a gate, and this is in the form of an external bridge that sweeps up from the south facade of the building, and the underside of this bridge has been described by Ando as a sail that navigates the student's creative journey. So it's almost like a metaphor for their journey throughout university. Ando himself has stated that travel is the source of all learning, which represents the journey that these students go on. So, moving on, we'll look at Praxis House, which is in Mexico City. Now, this is a bit of an older building, 1970, and it's a residential building, not a educational building. So this was designed by Agustin Hernandez Navarro, and this was his own home that he designed, and his own studio as well, where he displayed and worked on his architectural projects. And the building itself, as you can see, is almost like a tower section with parts that sprout about it, almost like a pyramid going up, and also an upside down pyramid as well. So Navarro's fascination with classical Hispanic motifs are a consistent theme within his work, and the concrete pyramids that interlock in this work appear to defy gravity and are reminiscent of some of the motifs that he has used previously in his other works. So the house's main living space is secured to the site by a sturdy concrete column running all the way down the building here. And the building itself was imagined as a tree, so with the central trunk and these parts as the branches leading off. There's a spiral staircase within this central bit here, and it winds up into the living areas in here. So the concrete facades are built around this central staircase, and there's small cutouts further down and little vertical ones here as well. There are some more cutouts towards the top as well, which are also other parts of Navarro's projects as well. So he's used some older motifs and design choices from past works in this one as well. And this part here is the entrance to the building, and this is a polished steel entrance which leads straight into the first floor living area, and also the dining and studio spaces as well. But the bedrooms are located on the second floor, which also house a open interlocked pyramids definitely make it one of the more interesting buildings in this list. So, moving on, I'll just have a small sip of my drink. We have the Museo Soumaya, which is also in Mexico City, and this is a bit of a newer one as well. This is 2011 and is a cultural building. So the building itself has got a wide base and a wide top section as well. It curves inwards and is decorated by lots of small tiles, almost circular, but they are indeed hexagonal. So this is located in the cultural and business centre of Mexico City, which is called Plaza Garza, and this is towards the eastern part of the city. So this is a very striking building, very recognisable, and it holds a very large private art collection, which includes over 70,000 artworks, and is also the world's largest collection of artwork by the sculptor Auguste Rodin. So the structure is windowless and was designed by the Mexican studio FR-EE, and that was led by Fernando Romero. So it was a rotated rhomboid. That's the actual technical definition, not just a curved shape. And it was designed to evoke the liquid form of fluidity and plasticity. So the actual skin of the building, as it's been described, is a modular series of 16,000 hexagonal mirrored steel sheets, which references the tradition of using tiles in colonial Mexican architecture. So it's a bit of a tribute and a homage to techniques of the past. So the building is supported by curved columns of various sizes and 7 structural pieces in the shape of rings. So the museum is spread across 6 levels and is a continuous exhibition from ground floor to top floor. So when visitors reach the top of the building, they enter the main exhibition space, with natural light pouring in from the expansive ceiling, the glass ceiling on top. So the actual building's exterior mirrors its surroundings due to the tiles being mirrored. But the interior itself, which includes an auditorium, a library, gift shop, and some offices as well, this instead is a pure monochrome appearance of curved spaces and just white emptiness, which is then filled with historical and also modern art as well. Satélite Towers will be our next building to look at, or buildings, should I say. So, these are also in Mexico City, but they're also a lot older. As you can see, 1958, which is quite old for Brutalist buildings. And this was designed by the architects Louis Barragan, Matthias Goeritz, and Jesus Rias Ferreira. This is a cultural site, and it's still in use today, and it's still in good condition as well. So these are 5 triangular towers which are located in the residential district of northwest Mexico City called Ciudad Satellite. So the monument was planned in 1957, and the towers were intended to be a symbol of Mexico's post-war success and modernity, and act visually as not only just a gateway to the city, but also as a symbol of the city's progression into the future. So the project was initially meant to have 7 buildings, with the highest to reach 200 metres. But due to budget restrictions, they ended up just building the 5 that you can see here. So the buildings are completely hollow, and they're made of a textured concrete. So you can see the patterns, especially on this one here. You can see the patterns go across, like so, which is the texture. And their colours are very striking. So you've got lighter grey ones, but also a darker central one as well, which are designed to stand out against the pale blue sky. So this was specifically placed in this area to create an illusion of movement for drivers who are approaching them at high speed. And they're a collaboration between the 3 architects I mentioned earlier. But Goeritz had a particular interest with towers and called them visual prayers. He and Louis Barragan had previously worked on a series of buildings where they designed a series of buildings that experimented with colour, form and light. And lastly, for today, we'll take a look at the last page for Mexico. We've got quite a few here. We've got the La Merced Market, which is also in Mexico City, but also the Sunset Chapel and also the Arango House. The La Merced Market, as you can see, is a wide open space that'd be great for displaying products, whether it's a supermarket or more of a sort of community market. Sunset Chapel is another design that seemingly defies gravity, with a very narrow base, but also just a wide top that tapers upwards almost like an inverted pyramid. And also Arango House with its very prominent curves but also layers. Almost looks like a sandwich with its bottom one here. A living area. Another layer, whether that's a floor or a ceiling. And then a balcony on top of that with the roof on top. So we'll take a look at Arango House, a closer look at this. This was designed by John Lautner and can be found in Acapulco in New Mexico. This was finished in 1973 and is a residential building. So John Lautner is known for modernist designs, modernist houses across Hollywood, Los Angeles and Beverly Hills, so the west coast of America, and has had a lot of high profile and wealthy clients. So he's very high up in the industry. So Arango House was built on the side of a very steep plot which overlooks the Acapulco Bay. And the design of the building was intended to be organic, curving but also asymmetrical as well. So the floor space, with it being almost like plates stacked on top of each other, the floor space is absolutely massive, coming in at 25,000 square feet. And the views of the sea and the sky from this building are spectacular, and the whole idea of being able to see both of those things is incorporated into the design of the building, so nothing is left out. So the actual building is 2 stories, so you've got the first story here and then another one on top. Huge semicircular roof covers this, with an enormous open terrace and also a cantilevered moat as well. So from above, the roof with its rib supports looks almost like the inside of a conch shell, with its many air chambers as well. So it's got the organic look to it. And this building was designed for the Mexican supermarket magnate Geronimo Arango, which is where Arango House got its name from. And the quote in the book shows that he was very happy with the design that Lorna came with. When he saw the model for the house, he simply said to Lorna, "It's beautiful, just go ahead and do it." So that will be the end of today's look at Brutalist buildings from Mexico. I hope, as always, you found it interesting, and thank you very much for joining me this evening. I hope it's made you nice and relaxed. So, in the next video of this series, we'll move south and look at some of the other nations in Central America. And after we've done them, we'll move down into South America. But thank you very much for watching tonight, and see you again next time.